All right, let's party. I'm just kidding. Let me take these off. All right, buckle up. Hold on. Buckle up. There we go. I did it right. All right, so let's get cooking here, shall we? Today should be fun. Are we live? Can you guys hear me? Let me see if you guys can hear me. I've been having audio issues lately. Not cool. I've been having more than just audio issues, okay? I've been going through some things today. Not cool. I'm not depressed, but let's just say I'm not happy about it. And what I'm going to tell you guys just happened today. So I'm still processing it, but I could lightly talk about it. Anyways, let's get through some comments. Let this build up a little bit before we get this thing really moving. Oh, this one was good. I was scanning through some of the comments right before I sat in. He goes, because I watched this guy and he says he's one of us and not a sellout yet. Oh, no, he said another good one. Hold on. No, this is perfect. Oh, no, you're going to love this. This is riveting content. No, this is great. Okay, so first he says, I'm not a sellout yet. And I say I'm one of you guys. Okay. And then he says this one. You got to love the enthusiasm, though. He goes, what if Jack is a government psyop? He's here to calm our nerves about shit around us, but in reality, we should be freaking out. A psyop. Yeah. No, that's good. No, it's good. First of all, positive today. We hit 50,000 subscribers. Thank the Lord. Totally stoked. Really, I can't tell you how grateful I am. But I just thought it was funny. Yeah, I'm a government psyop with 50,000 subscribers. That's awesome. They go, you know what we'll do? We'll plant footage of this guy dating back to 2006 of him trying to be a pro skateboarder, right? Okay. And then we'll plant a little more footage of him trying to make it as a stand-up comedian in like 2012. Okay. Then we'll play the long game. 2024, we'll blow him up to 50,000 subscribers. That way we'll get the masses. Wow, wow, wow. So yeah, if that's a psyop, then that's me. Controlling the masses. That's if that's the definition of a psyop, then that's exactly what I am. But the sellout thing, when I say not a sellout, when I say sellout, I mean like somebody gets really big, right? Like 1 million subscribers, 500,000 subscribers. Even 100,000 subscribers is big. But when I say sellout, I mean someone who's operating just on money. That generally might that might impact somebody in a negative fashion. So like selling crypto or getting people to invest in some shit that's probably going to make them no money. Selling a course, not just selling a course. Like if somebody's selling a $20 course, okay, that's fair. No big deal. It might help you. But if somebody's selling a $1,000 course, that's probably going to do nothing for you. That's a sellout. Or if they're just pushing product on you, just like product that they definitely do not use. They're just doing it for the money. That's what I mean by sellout. And yeah, you're right. I'm nothing like you. Because you saying this right now, although I do love the enthusiasm and I appreciate you being here. I really do. But just you saying that, just because you would do it doesn't mean I would do it. Okay? You get what I mean? So, but you don't have to believe me. I really don't care. I don't owe you anything. Just like you don't owe me anything. Nothing. You don't owe me nothing. I expect nothing from you. Yeah, so anyways, we're going to get a little deep here. The topic of discussion. Somebody asked how to call in. I'm going to put the link in there. I'll drop the link right now, but I'm going to say what I'm going through real quick. Just because I really did not want to do the live stream tonight. I am going like, I'm not like depressed. I'm not a little bit mad. It's more of a sad thing. But how you sign up, I just put the link in the chat or sign up. How do you call in? You just click the link and give you a couple things to push and then boom, boom, you're in. Yeah, so anyways, all right, here we go. Now, I can't really tell you guys, this is going to be tricky to kind of explain this. I think I'll be able to explain it to you without saying too much information. Because all right. My man, cruise control. I love it. All right, so June, how old are you and where are you calling from, brother?
64 years old, Philippines.
Damn, you looking smooth for 64, bro. Looking
That's
good.
because I don't have kids.
Classic. So, anyways, June, what's on? Did you want to? Because I kind of picked the topic, but I don't mind if you guys want to pick something you want to talk about. But if you are going through some things or been through some serious stuff you want to share with some people, maybe something that was serious early in your life, but as you got older, it's like, it really wasn't nothing. I'll let you roll. You could either pick a topic or you can go on the topic of the day here.
Well, I watched one of your videos the other day, and I just discovered you like a month ago,
Very
and
cool.
you're a sociologist,
I don't know what that means, but thank you.
somebody who studies society
Oh,
and
okay. Yeah.
comments
Oh,
on it.
for
Yeah.
sure. For sure. People's church steeples people. Definitely. Absolutely.
And you were talking about how you wanted to move to another country,
It was a
and I
thought.
was
It
just
was a thought.
okay. Well, I did it like 6 years ago, and I just wanted to. It helps if you know someone from the country.
Oh, I'm
You
sure.
know,
There's actually this dude, Dan. I featured him on the channel before a few times, not in person, but just like text and stuff like that. But he actually lives out in Bangkok. And he was saying he gets hit up so much of people trying to move there and they want his help. And he's like, I'm gonna have to start charging for this shit because it's difficult to just move there and like not, you kind of want to have somebody who kind of like, holds your hand, kind of go, this is how it's done. Okay. Which makes sense because I'd be terrified. Just go out there on a whim, like, so, okay. So, anyways, you moved to, where'd you say you moved?
Philippines.
Okay. So,
Like,
what do you think? You think it was a solid decision?
well, I had visited before in 2012, and if you're going to move somewhere, it's a good idea to visit first. And I'm married. My wife is from here, and we came out to take care of her mother. And then her mother passed away during COVID. She was like 95 or something.
Oh, that's a long
And
life.
yeah, but it was good. My wife hadn't lived here for like 30 years, but she still had friends from grade school and high school, and they were really tight. And one of her friends was a real estate agent, so we managed to buy a house and stuff. She cashed in her 401k. I
Nice.
don't have any money. All I got is Social Security.
Because I don't have
But
any, I don't believe in money. Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah. Well, I mean, like for instance, okay, so what was like the main reason for moving out? Shit's just too expensive. That's kind of what am I even
we
saying?
we we rented an apartment in New Jersey, and we wouldn't have been able to afford to stay there. You know, so we came out here. She cashed in some of her 401, and we got a place for like 3.6 million pesos.
Okay, so what does that equate to in American dollars? You got to give us the goods here.
About $55,000.
Holy shit, that's a
Three
solid deal.
bedroom, three bedroom place.
That's
On a
nice.
little bit of land. It's nice. It's nice. It's it's just like really different because we live in a big city and there's not a lot of white people here. You know, I mean, like I go to the
Wait,
mall
did you
and
say
maybe
there's
I
a
see
lot of?
like,
Did you say there's a lot of white people, or there's not?
oh, there's not. Like
Oh
I
yeah,
go to
I
the
mean it's the
mall,
Philippines. Yeah, of course,
yeah, but I
makes
mean,
sense.
there's not a lot of black people or Indian people or anything.
I
And
mean,
that kind of takes some getting used to.
go to Southern California. There's hardly any white people there either. I get it. Yeah, I get it. It's just way more expensive. All right, so let me ask you a question before I keep this party moving here. All right, so if you don't mind disclosing some information with us, um, how much you get a month Social Security, if you don't mind. If you do mind, just say pass.
1,075.
Okay, so it's safe to say if you don't have any other retirement plan other than that, good fucking luck doing that in the United States. Safe to say that.
Yeah,
because
my
that's what
wife.
my dad gets. My dad gets 1,100, and and that's it's just not enough. It's a joke. But luckily, we went through some government programs, some bullshit. I basically sold my dad. Speaking of selling out, I basically sold my father because I had what's it called, power of attorney. So I turned into Papa Bear. The roles were reversed. It was like I had custody of the guy. I basically just signed him over to the state. I know that sounds fucked up, but there was nothing more I could do. I'm still allowed to see him on a daily basis. I could pick him up if I want to, all of that. I still do hold some kind of power of attorney, but his money now goes straight to the like he is their kid. It's their problem. But like realistically though, a lot of people where he lives, same situation, because there's actually like this weird law, like if you're over the age of I think 65, and let's say you end up in the hospital, and they can tell that you can't take care of yourself and you have nobody to come pick you up over a duration of time, they legally have to put you in one of these places. So there's a lot of people like that in there, and most of them, they don't have no fucking money. Yeah, but anyways, man, you got any last words before I let you go, June? Any
Yeah,
words
yeah.
of advice for young cats out here, or even people of your age?
Well, I just wanted to say my wife gets more Social Security than me. And even though I'm making less than I ever did in my life, I save like 500 a month
That's
and put
awesome.
it away.
Yeah, that's awesome. I
So,
actually just saw before I let you go, I saw a video recently. This dude was given a tour of his luxury apartment in Bangkok. $750 American a month. I'm talking this may as well been a penthouse in Miami. Like jacuzzis on the roof. Jacuzzis plural. Okay, like many jacuzzis with like one of those water what are those called? Those infinity pools with like the with the hot bitch with the ass out, you know what I mean? Like on the edge and then the skyline's there. $750 a month. I know. I got to check this shit out. Anyways, June, I appreciate you calling in, man.
okay, thank you. Keep up the good work, Jack.
Yeah, I will. Congrats on your crazy adventure, and I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
Cool dude, man. Cool dude. Low says subscribe, everybody. Yeah, click it or don't. It doesn't matter. It's all good. It's all good. You know. All I really wanted, it's so funny bringing back up because this shit's just been on my mind all day with this whole circle of people, and I disrupted the trust, and then possibly there's a high probability that this is all just fucked for me, which I'm not happy about whatsoever. It's like I'm doing this line of work. The guy talk about selling out. It's like I'm not even trying to be famous. I don't want to be famous. You get what I mean? That's why I don't post to Instagram every day. That's why I don't post to TikTok every day. Because that's like I can't control how big this shit gets. I guess I can, just don't post. There you go. That makes sense. But like I'm just doing this because this is like the only thing I could think of that I would be able to do to make an exorbitant amount of money so that I could retire. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to I don't care about driving a Porsche. You know what I mean? Like I don't. It doesn't get me going. I don't need a 7-bedroom house with a wife and 2 girlfriends with a water slide going from my bedroom to the pool. I don't need all that. Okay, I know it's a bit nuts, but I'm just making a point here. But yeah, that's why I'm doing this. But then it's like it has its everything's got it's got its pros and it's got its cons, and so I'm now experiencing the cons of this shit, and I got to learn how to dance around this shit lightly, man, because it's starting to the internet is now starting to affect my real life over on this side of the screen, in here, right, guys? You know what I mean? What's up, Katie? How you doing? I mean, I don't know if I'm one of a kind, but according to my mom, I kind of am. All right. Let's keep this moving. Who's next? Who's my next victim? I'm gonna pick him here. Who's it gonna be? You know what? I kind of like the way Carlos is smiling at me in this thing. You guys can't see him, but I get a good vibe from the guy. Carlos, you're coming in. Don't fuck it up. I'm gonna get pissed. There he is. Carlos, my boy.
How you doing?
I'm great. Oh, I'm okay. I was gonna say
Same here.
that was that's my automatic response. I'm fine. How are you? Yes, thank you. Have a good day. Okay. And he walked away. Never see the person ever again. I'm okay. I've been better. I might be sad for months on end, but I'll make it. Anyways, Carlos, how old are you and where are you calling from, brother?
I am 33 and I'm calling from Bloomington, Indiana, where the Indiana University's at.
All right, very cool, man. So, what's on your mind tonight? What's going on?
Uh,
Talk to
well,
me.
I've listened for the past 3 weeks, listened to some of your videos, and you talk about the whole car epidemic and student loans and how people are I just hear a lot of people complaining. And something that happened to me a couple years ago was I was married and I got divorced.
Classic.
My yeah, but my ex, we had 4 kids. Yeah.
No, that's
Right.
awesome. That's awesome though. The divorce sucks, but I do
Yeah.
I do think having a family is cool though.
So the situation was mother pretty much abandoned me and the kids. I lost my job. I lost everything. I went from making 70 grand to poverty level within a couple months. Had to get on food stamps, Medicaid, all government assistance I could find to get to keep going. Uh, got my kids into childcare. Got my job back, so I'm making a little bit more than I was making. But I just it's not hopeless out there. People, especially with single fathers, they can do it. Like I think single mothers these days don't. They may love their children, but it's not that's not their priorities. Priorities finding a man. And just from the videos that you posted and what they're trying to do, you can tell priorities aren't on the children; it's on themselves.
Yeah, I'm sitting here talking about my little circle problem, and then you lay this on me. I needed to feel better about myself. Not, I'm just having fun. But okay,
Yeah, I know.
So now, would you say you've bounced back though? Now, like you feeling like?
Oh yeah, oh
okay.
yeah. I got my kid. My kids are in childcare. I'm supposed to be getting child support, but I don't. So and the family courts are very hard on men. It's dangerous getting married. Like I want to get remarried again, but I got the thing in the back of my head: is it worth it?
I mean, you could always just it probably wouldn't be good for the kids, but like depending on
exactly.
No, what's the thing they call when you're with someone for like 7 years or some shit, and then it's like automatically locked in? What's that called?
I can't remember. I know it's like
common
law.
There it is.
Yeah.
Bingo. We got it. 2 grown men figured it out. Okay. I guess what you could do, call me crazy, but you could kind of just every 6.5 years, you rotate them out. You know what I mean? And then you have them live in, and you go 6.5 years goes by, and you go, hey kids, this is going to be your new mom. And then you do it again until they're full blown adults. And then they go, oh, we see what you were doing.
What's crazy though is, a lot of women these days, I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them are almost like children. Like you have to take care of them because they don't want to work. They don't want to go out and do for themselves. So it's like, I got 4 kids to take care of. I don't feel like taking care of another one. So I kind of just backed away from the dating scene a little bit and just, I got money in the bank. I'm not struggling financially. And I just like single fathers can definitely do it. If you're ever divorced or facing divorce, you need to get all the dirt on your ex-wife that you can, because there's a chance you can get the kids. So,
well, let me ask you a question though, for real though. So you end up like at the bottom. You're at like probably one of your lowest points, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Shit can get much worse than what you were saying about divorce, losing your job, ending up on government subsidy, welfare, whatever, all of the above. Okay, so how long did it take you like to get out of that? Like, what'd you have to do to get through that?
Well, the hardest thing for me was finding childcare. I had government assistance, but the childcare, there was no room for children to go in. So like I said, I have 4 children. All together, it took me 9 months to finally get childcare for all of them.
Oh, wow.
And then summertime came along, and one of my kids didn't have childcare. This was back summer 2023. So I had to wait till he went back into school. And then once he got back into school, I started working straight right away. And I guess one of the benefits of having a lot of kids is you get a good tax refund, but all that just went straight to the bank.
Yeah, but you know,
I don't do car payments or
but,
anything.
but you know what's crazy? I'm gonna end on this note, and I'm really proud of you for bouncing back because that shit, you know, because a lot of us, you know, when things go like super wrong, it's easy to just like curl up and go help, you know, and you kind of free. I don't want to say I've never done that because it was a very short-lived thing until I was like, all right, let's work 8 days a week and do a bunch of bullshit, you know. But so that's something to be proud of. I was like, damn it, dude, I just lost my fucking train of thought. Son of a bitch. You see what you did, Carlos? I need somebody to blame. Let me read this guy's thing real quick. He is, are you up to it? Is it helping distract yourself? Take the night off, dude. You need it. Yeah, actually, I'm doing this because it's my job. And so if I had another job, chances are like a real job, I would have to still go to work no matter how I'm fucking feeling. Just because everything's so fucking, you know, cost of living. Do I have to say it? So I'm still showing up, but I am going to do a short stream tonight. Just so you know, this person goes, why are you sad? You're going to have to rewind it. You could rewatch. I said in the beginning, the whole circle, I broke the trust in the circle. Now I might be kicked out of the circle for good, family people. Anyways. Okay. Yeah. So anyways, Carlos, I forgot where we're going, but I'm very proud of you, man. I'm going to keep this party moving. I totally lost my train of thought. My bad. Nearly ruined the entire night. And, hey, man, I'm really happy for you, dude. And, you know, good luck. And I think you're going to be all right.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
All right, brother. Yeah, I totally forgot where I was fucking going with that. Wow. Stomp the Elites, my boy. Yeah, back to the selling out thing. Stomp the Elites is part of one of my original Patreon members. I just don't want to sell a bunch of crap. So I have a Patreon. If people want to join it, they can. That way I don't have to take brand deals and sell you guys face cream that you know I don't use. You know what I mean? Like, come on, let's be realistic here. Anyways, and on the Patreon, I post behind the scenes stuff. I don't post normal videos. It's more like back end shit that I don't discuss with you guys here. That way it's kind of like something different. You guys kind of like get the inside scoop. I don't just sit here. I kind of, you know, check it out if you want. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just glad that you guys are here right now. I'm just trying to tell you guys what I'm up to. All right, let's get through here. All right, we got some more people in the queue. We're gonna take a few. What time is it? 6:30. All right, we're gonna go for like another 30 minutes. Keep this party started, or keep it rolling, should I say? Free fruits and veggies, Jack. I'm setting up an offices all over the world. I sublet them during the day to pay the rent. Then I sleep at them at night. Free rent, man, with no bills. Wow, that's awesome. That's office life. I've had that a bunch of times. I didn't realize how many people were living in office buildings, but I get it. You know. I totally do get it. All right, who's next? We're going to do Adrian's coming in next here. Let me see if we got any good comments. Not a D. What's up, the other Jack? This guy goes, you're a star now. Forget those little people. Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like, I don't look at myself like, oh, I'm better than you. It's like, nah, dude. It's like tripping. What's up, Jim Berg? How you doing? Most people think, most people you think are friends are in reality just people you know. Yeah, 1000%. I agree with that. For sure. Buckle up. All right, let's get Adrian in here. I'm trying to find some good comments, but there's nothing. This guy goes, you should make a t-shirt that says take a hit. Yeah, I should. Yeah, but you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to smoke, and I'm not going to drink alcohol, and I'm not going to do any of that because it's not going to help my situation at all. So I'm just going to stay completely sober and do my stupid little vape that I can't seem to quit because I'm pathetic. Thanks for the $2 from Real Cookie Cook. Goes, life's too short. I hope your friends reach out. Yeah, I'll find out. I will. And what's really more fucked up is, you know, a lot of us, we can, you know, when you meet somebody, you don't even need to know them, but if you know them, you know when somebody's like mad at you or they're sad, like they don't need to say anything. You can just see it in their eyes. Well, it's really fucked up is I ran into one of the circle earlier today and didn't have to say anything. I was like, say no more. I didn't say that out loud, but I'm like, wow, like like I think you might hate me. And I've been out of the loop, so I don't know how they're feeling. That's the fucked up part on the whole thing. I wish I could explain this in full detail, but I can't. And I won't because there's a possibility that the circle might still be there. So, all right, Adrian, I'm sorry. If anybody else wants to call in, I'm going to put the link. Everybody new watching, I appreciate. We hit 50,000 subs. I'm totally stoked. I love all you guys. Let me see. I just put the link in the chat. All you got to do is click it, and then you could pop on live with me. Adrian, you're coming in. I'm not lying this time. All right. Adrian, you're live.
Hey, Jack, what's up?
I'll just, you know, just feeling sorry for myself, talking to you guys. Anyways, how old are you and where are you calling from, brother?
I'm 33 years old and I'm from Dallas, Texas.
All right, got the Texas boy in the house, boots with the spurs. So, what's on your mind tonight, brother? What's percolating? Give us something good.
Man, Jack, I want to say first of all, congratulations. I make content myself, and
thank you.
Even getting to the first 1,000 is difficult for you.
Oh, it's really not easy at all. Took me forever. Yeah. And that's with the government Psyop help. That's with the help of the government pushing me into the ether, into the stratosphere. You know, that's a joke. If you guys could.
No, I think it's your personality, right?
Oh, for sure.
I mean, my content, I do a lot of like heavy editing, but I saw a lot of.
Where are you at now? How many subs you got?
897.
8,000?
No, 897.
Oh yeah, the first 1,000 so fucking tough, man. Oh my god. Yeah, it is like. But once you hit 1,000, man, go treat yourself to a really high end dinner down at Chili's. But anyway, so what's on your mind tonight? Content aside, what's percolating?
Man, based on your content, I wouldn't say I'm really on that side. I'm doing well. Great job. Doing steady, living low beyond my means. By the way, on the last guy, his name is the first one, June. So I'll just say this though. So I was born in the Philippines. I moved in the United States in 2011, and I would say having a immigrant mindset really helped me with the, you talk about the cost of living, the car loans, and I've always treated my finance or every money I have like debit. And since I live in so much scarcity that in the United States, you get more luxuries or benefits that you don't get over there. So I don't take anything for granted. I don't think of I deserve. I actually work for everything, and it's put me in a good spot. So I don't overspend, even though I can buy anything that I want. I still believe that no, I get more gratification saying no to not buying what I want versus.
I totally get that.
Yeah. So
and I actually, you know what? But I think like, you kind of almost don't take this the wrong way. It's just a metaphor here. But even if you're born in America, you're basically just like, it's like everything's kind of backwards now. Right. So like now it's like we treat immigrants, which is fine, I guess, with like, come on in, here's everything. But then if you're actually an American, you get treated like they used to treat immigrants. So it's kind of like, so you kind of have to be like, I'm an immigrant here. Like I gotta, and I totally get that. Cause I think another thing too, is like, nobody wants to work 8 days a week, man. Nobody wants to do that, but that's kind of where we're at. It's kind of like, until you could figure out how to not work 8 days a week, it's kind of like you almost have to. Or if you're fortunate enough to like work with some other people, or you have a spouse, or, you got like a brother, like a best friend, or you live with your family and you guys are able to really like work together. But other than that, if you're like on your own, man, it's fucking like, it's brutal. Because I grew up like typical American, mom and dad, both like middle class, like chilling, You know, I didn't grow up like a huge, like, some big luxurious house, but like nice neighborhood. You know, we weren't tripping. Birthday presents every year. Christmas was super chill. You know,
Yeah.
I lived in Florida and had a white Christmas every year, so you knew my parents could afford those things.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, kids in my neighborhood have like, I've never even left Florida. You know, I'm 15 years old. So like I had a really good life, but I have to say the best thing that ever happened to me was like my parents cutting me off.
Mm.
Not like they was just giving me money. It was like on my 16th birthday, my mom was like, I got you a job at Domino's and you start on Tuesday. That was like a gift. I got gifts, but that was like another gift. It was like the gift of learning how to make your own money.
Yeah.
And then my dad would let me work with him. And, you know, but they were like really, you know, I was like, I want to say I was slightly spoiled in a sense where it was like, we'll pay your phone bill. We'll pay your car insurance, you know, 17, 18, we'll pay your car insurance. But like once 20 hit, man, that shit was all a wrap. Like I had to learn the hard way, right? That was the first time I ever worked 7 days a week was when I was 20. And that was like a huge thing because I was like, I crashed my car. You know, they're like, well, we're not buying you another one. So I'm like, I'm sitting here riding the bus, you know, I'm like, fuck. Not that I never rode the bus before. I did when I was like 14, 15 to go skateboarding. I take the bus downtown or take the train down to Miami. But like having to do that to go to work is like, oh, fuck, man. So having to do all that, I think that was like kind of one of the best things that's ever happened to me. Cause I heard somebody say before, they were like, I think kids are having a hard time because they're starting to work later. You know, they're like, they're not starting to work really early. They're working later. And then there's a shocking amount of people, which I don't care, get it how you live, but there's a shocking amount of people that have mom and dad help.
Yeah.
That you don't know they do. You have no idea. And we're not talking about 20-year-olds. We're talking about 30-year-olds, 34-year-olds whose parents are paying for their car insurance, paying for their phone bill is on their parents' plan. You know, so there's like, I don't want to say it's a huge percent of people, but it's actually a shocking amount of people.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them for that. But I feel like that's one of those things where that's definitely, because that fucked me up. You know, even just getting it to like 20 years old, that did fuck me up because they cut me off. Imagine getting cut off at 30. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Because you live your life for so long with that dependency, right? And a big shock on your lifestyle. How do you make that adjustment?
exactly. So yeah, I kind of agree with you with the whole immigrant lifestyle, man. But that's awesome. What's your channel name, Adrian? I want to check it out.
Yeah. Do you want to just put it in the chat?
Oh yeah, but I'm still gonna write it down anyways. I'm old school.
Yeah. At the Adrian Fajardo, I just put in the private chat.
Okay, it's in the private chat.
Mhm.
Perfect, man. All right, Adrian, I appreciate you calling in, dude, and congrats on all the success.
Keep making the videos. I'll keep watching them. Thanks.
Of course, man. I appreciate you being here, brother.
Thank you.
Talk soon. Peace. Yeah, good guy. Good guy. I like him. All right. Got $2 from Scoop Away. Thank you very much. Because Philippines is amazing. That is where I want to go. Yeah, I gotta get international, man. I gotta check that shit out. You know what the problem is though, is everybody's too busy to go on a vacation. It's like I'm gonna have to go solo. You know, it's like I guess I just have to learn how to have fun on my own, I guess. I mean, I do have fun by myself, but yeah, anyways, whatever. I'm crying over here. Gold Ace 21 with the $2 from downtown. Thank you very much. Speak about gambling addiction, casinos, and crypto. So this one cat I know, he had I had a bit of a gambling bug, but I really only gambled with like shooting pool or like I only gambled if I knew I had a high probability of winning. It was the only time I ever gambled, but I did get a little carried away with it, and I did end up getting jumped by 9 guys. Yeah, best $120 I ever won from somebody playing pool. I didn't know all of his friends were playing, part of a fucking Venezuelan gang. Yeah. So, anyways, that was fun. It was the last time I'll gamble here and there with like playing pool or something, but that's really only if I'm like with some real adults who have the money. You know, we're friends. Like that's the really only time I'll gamble now. But one cat I know, he said he's like super hardcore gambling addict. Like he's literally in recovery for gambling. I know. But he told me that like the same thrill you get at like hitting big, like playing poker, and you just you clean up, you beat everybody, you just pull a fast one on them, and you come up like $5,000. He said the same feeling goes both ways. So what he means is like that same rush, you get the same feeling by losing it all. Yeah. I said, you are psycho. And I don't know how you got this job here working next to me. Anyways, I said, good luck with that. Yeah, so that gambling shit. Crypto, I don't know. If you have the money, like for instance, I did buy Bitcoin like 3 years ago, and I didn't hold on to it. Yeah, I didn't hold on to it. It's only worth like 70 grand now. So shame on me. But that was like gambling though. You know, Dogecoin I hit a little bit. I think I hit like 7,500 off $1,000, but that was like totally gambling. You know what I mean? But I could like afford to lose. You know, if I put $5,000 in, it's like I might lose all this, but like I could afford to lose it. I don't know. If you only have that much money, I don't think it's smart. We got $10 from Matt Bowler from downtown, another Patreon member. I appreciate you, brother. He goes, get over here to St. Louis and let's decompress. Yeah, he plays hockey, man. I'll have to get out there on the ice, show you Mighty Duck yo ass, Gordon Bombay. You know what I'm saying? All right, we got Stephanie coming in. Stephanie, you are coming in hot. All right,
Hi.
Stephanie, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. So how old are you and where are you calling from?
33. I live in Pennsylvania.
All right. So what's on your mind tonight, Steph? What's percolating up there?
Nothing really. I've been watching your videos. I get a good laugh, and you're telling us you're crying and feeling bad for yourself. You shouldn't be feeling bad for yourself.
Okay, I wish I could go into more context on this, but I can't, like I said, because that's what got me in the situation to begin with. I'm sure there's some people in the chat watching probably know what I'm talking about because they were there for the moment. Because okay. So it's not that I'm feeling bad for myself. It's just a natural thing. It's like you don't want to let somebody that you care about and you love down. You know what I mean? And then possibly lose them for good. And I don't mean like they're dying. I mean, they're alive, but you're losing access. Like, you know, you don't
Can
want
I interject and say, with you being a comedian, you are a comedian like as one of your jobs?
Yes, the reason why I'm successful here is because people find me funny. Yeah.
Well, part of comedy is your ability to connect with other people.
Absolutely.
And sometimes the skill of connecting with other people can be born from a need to please other people. And with that comes a natural desire to put a lot of pressure upon yourself.
True. You're not wrong, actually.
You do tend to put a lot of pressure upon yourself from your content. I don't mean to psychoanalyze you.
No, it's cool. I think a lot of people, I think a lot of us are guilty of putting a lot of pressure on ourselves.
I'm guessing you're also, are you also a millennial? I'm not sure if I know how old you are.
Yeah, I'm 34. I'm a millennial.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my observation with everybody I know within this age bracket is we seem to have been placed under this impossible situation where we were to have it all figured out by the age of maybe 18. We were to know what we wanted to do the rest of our lives. We were to have a career. We were to get a spouse. We were to have children. We were to own homes. And our parents, well-meaning at the time, forced us down these paths that were predispositioned in the form of college. Oh, if you major in this, you'll get a job in this. Or, oh, if you have a degree, you'll get a job in anything. And that found not to be true because we oversaturated the market. So now a lot of us in our 30s are scrambling to find footing in this. It almost feels like an alternate dimension.
It kind of does a little bit. And not to mention everything we were taught, you know, on the last live stream, there was a guy came in and I actually like the dude. His name's Bob. I actually think he's a pretty cool guy, but he came in, he was kind of like roasting us and like kind of like saying that like the boomers and Gen X had it just as hard. But like I had to tell him, I was like, look, there was this blueprint, right? It was like you could get a job, work there for 30 years, and retire. That was the blueprint.
So I have like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
No, you're cool. Go ahead.
I don't mean to. I'm sorry. When someone tells you something and it gets in my head, but I feel like no generation has ever had it easy. It's just that by the time the generation before us is old enough to give us wisdom, the world has changed. My
Yes.
grandfather survived the Great Depression. How is he going to advise my father, who was born in 1964, on how to live his life in a completely different world? And here I am, 30 years later. My mom and dad give me very well-intentioned advice, but it no longer applies in this modern world.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say is like, that's exactly what I'm saying. Everything's changed so much. And what I mean by the blueprint was like, it was pretty standard. Like my mother, I'm going to say this for the 50th time, no college degree. Okay. Like to party on the weekends. Okay. Got a management position at a law firm that does insurance for fucking like McDonald's. You get what I mean? That
Yep.
works for CVS. They
Lucrative.
represent. So what I'm saying is no degree, none of that stuff. Got a job managing a law firm. Okay.
Lots of
And all you had to do, oh yeah, she made like 60, 65 grand a year. But she made the same amount of money for 30 years. It never really went up. So by the time the later parts of her life, she passed away about 4 years ago. But by that time, it's like I'm a single lady making $65,000 a year. And yes, can I retire? Maybe, probably, you know, because she paid into Social Security, she had a 401k. But like my point is that same position now is still the same amount of money. Not to mention all of the secretaries, paralegals, they all now make less money than they did 20 years ago because they found out
survive on it. You can't.
Yeah.
It's
So
impossible.
they found out that people are willing to go do this job for $10,000, $15,000 less a year. Because
Yeah.
everybody else is aged out. So they're like, put them in with younger people who just want a cushy office job, and they'll do it for 43,000 versus 55,000. They're going to do it. People are going to take the job. So, and I'm not saying like poor us or anything. I'm just saying it's like that was kind of the disconnect. Whereas like it's like, yeah, and it's up to us to do something crazy, and which is what I'm doing. I'm taking this massive risk. Hold on, this is a big deal for me. 1,000 live viewers at once. I want to get up and break something, but I do not have it in me. Thanks for the $2, Crystal. My little love bug, my little sugar thing. Crystal love bug. That's a good one. That's good. That's good. That cheered me up. But yeah, I mean, I'm not saying poor us. It's just like it's got to the point where that whole blueprint is kind of, you could still use that blueprint, like put in an IRA, make your own 401k if you don't have one. You could still do that, but you also have to go like extreme on top of that. Like,
yes,
you kind of got to do something bold.
Does it feel like what you were technically, no one ever came out and shook my hand and said, you are going to have a good life. But it felt like subliminally we were promised these things that just were not delivered.
Oh, yeah. No, I was actually told that for sure. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that, no. It's just funny because you say that and I'm like, no, both of my parents literally were like, you're going to do great. All this stuff. It's not like my mom was wrong. My mom just had so much faith in me that I would be able to do something with this mouth of mine and the way I roll. And she wasn't wrong.
She wasn't wrong. No, she wasn't wrong. And I got to say, like, you've done what people have done before you 1,000 times. And I don't mean that in a dismissive sense.
No.
But you've taken your situation in life and you've made the lemonade out of the lemons. You cite no college degree, but then you were a bartender. I worked in food service. I would have starved if I stayed in food service because I don't have the charisma, I suppose, is probably what you have.
The je ne sais quoi.
But you said your mother was much the same, so you must have inherited that somewhere.
Yeah, both of my parents were. I get all of my humor from them, and then probably some like other people in my life. Like my uncle's super funny. All my family has like great sense of humor, but I definitely get it from them. Because my dad was like the ultimate. He was like, not only was he hilarious, but he was willing to rip you off. Oh, he's going to sell. He's going to sell you something, and he's going to be the best. He's going to outwork everybody. But then my mom was like, kind of more like, I want to enjoy life. I care about people. She would do like fundraisers for like breast cancer. She'd raise like 15 grand and then just not even keep any of it and give it away. But she was
Yep.
also responsible and had a job. And then, and then my dad was the guy who was going out and being like, let's fucking kick some ass and, kind of
I don't think
get
they
this
were a
money.
good match.
Yeah, they
Pretty
were.
good
They for sure they were, but things went sideways. But real quick, hold
They
on,
always
hold that thought. We got $20 from Nick Rogers, so old Nicky Longlegs from downtown. He goes, Chicago BNR 28 in July. I don't know what that means. He goes, in July, been a felon since I was 19. I worked my ass off at 2 different Jimmy John's and was able to make $65K last year after taxes. Damn, at Jimmy John's, that's impressive. Money so fast you'll freak. He goes, after taxes, doing 85, 90 hours a week. You remind me a lot of myself. I respect you so much. I appreciate that, dude. And I do know what it's like to not just once work like every day and just kind of like try and figure out how to add your friends and family into the mix. But like sometimes you gotta work like that's why when I say I'm like the only advice I have is like I have like grunt work experience, and then also trying to do something bold like this and eating shit at it while I'm doing all that other crap.
I wouldn't say you're eating shit. I wouldn't say that.
No.
I think what
I
you've
did
done,
for a long time. I did. Long time.
That's everywhere you go. I mean, you look at someone who does ballet. She didn't come out the womb spinning on her tiptoe. Like that took years of physical development.
I mean, if she did, that would have been very impressive.
Right? And then she would have never suffered. But what I've learned throughout my journey is suffering is the only thing that's guaranteed to us. But we can choose to the degree and how we suffer. And when I reduced it to that level, it made me realize certain things weren't as bad as I made them to be. But also, what you've done is you've taken your own experiences and you've put them out into the world. And many of us are looking at your content going, no, I relate. But it's incredible. I've had the exact opposite experience that you did. I went to college. I graduated at age 20 with a bachelor's degree. I went and I got a job. I'm not allowed to tell you what I do for a living, but I got a pensioned job. But it was second shift work. So because of my degree, I was able to transfer to a department within the place I work at where I get Monday through Friday. I get my weekends off. But the things you speak about, loneliness, having trouble finding anyone to date, having trouble balancing friendships. I'm divorced. I am a single mom and everyone hates them and it's a dog thing. But in my case, I left for my kids. I wasn't trying to trap a man.
You don't have to explain yourself. It's at this point, it's actually more rare to hear the opposite of that. So it's
I have friends. I have friends that are divorced. I have friends that are married. I have friends that have kids. I have friends that don't. I have single mom friends. I have non-single mom friends. We literally all are having the exact same problem in this age demographic. And the ones I'm talking to who are 28, 27, 26, it's worse for them. I don't know if it's because of the internet. We all feel so isolated. I mean, I think the COVID epidemic really emphasized just how much our institutions failed. Because if you think about the history of this country, we were founded on a church, basically. So we had the churches took care of the poor. The churches were your source. Like we were all agricultural. So you gathered at church once a week. Yes. So you gathered at church once a week, and then you helped each other out with your goats and your sheep and growing food. You never were alone. You always had a community of people outside of just your spouse.
Yeah,
but as we literally lived in a village in a community. And as we got away from our community, we were literally genetically bred to be in community. We got away from that. So all of the pressure fell upon your spouse. In this modern world, the pressure is upon your husband or your wife and your kids to entertain you, to make you feel whole and complete. And it was never the job for one person. I am not polyamorous. That's not the route I'm going with this. It's just men were meant to have friendship. Women were meant to have friendship. We were all meant to have friends and neighbors and people that helped us survive.
Put it this way. I'm going to let you go after this because that was an awesome point. But like, I could debunk the independent thing really fast. When people are like, I don't need nobody. Like, you know, which is fine. You want to be a lone wolf. I get it. This world could be cold blooded.
No
I get it.
one's a lone
But
wolf. I think
but
it's nonsense.
I know, but I do understand that mentality. I can understand that. So I don't want to take away from that. But I will say it takes two people to make a baby.
You're
I
right.
didn't make it up. So just that alone just goes to tell you that it's going to take more than just one person to get a bunch of shit done. But anyways, I appreciate you calling in, Steph. I'm going to let you roll. I'm going to keep this thing moving on. Hell of a
Keep up
talk.
the good
That was
work.
good.
Keep
You had
up the
some
good work.
good solid shit. I appreciate you. All right, that was cool, man. All right, we got Sewer Pickle. That's a good name. I'd eat that. He goes, Jack, wipe your tears with this 20 spot. We love you. Oh, I love you too, man. He goes, we can't be perfect to everyone every time. No, you can't. You can't. And you know what's even crazier is you know, it's because of my line of work that I messed up. Anybody who didn't get this, basically a circle of people. I said something about one person in the circle on the internet. They didn't like it. My fault. I fucked up. Now I'm getting kicked out of the circle and I'm upset about it because it sucks because I care about these people. And I don't know if it's for real. I don't know if I'm actually getting kicked out for good. I'm hoping not. I'm gonna it's only been like 3 months. So I'm kind of trying to let the time. What did the rapper Drake say? Time heals all and heals her to walk in. Riveting information. Yeah, so it's all good. I'll be fine. It just sucks because I care. I think that's the one downside of caring, you know. Look at this loser. He gives a shit. Pathetic. Thanks for the $50. Wow, appreciate that, Heather. Or Heather Cliff. Keep your head up, brother. I appreciate that, man. I really do. All right, we're gonna take a couple more callers. Real quick, Organic Thug is he was an original subscriber back when I originally tried this gig about 7 years ago. This guy, he goes, I went to college for 12 years. For 12 years? Damn, he was milking that shit. At an art school and have my doctorate in transgender. Okay. All right. I'm going to get canceled if I read all that. He is a funny guy. He's got jokes. All right. We got $10 here before I read that. Scott, you're going to be next. I appreciate everybody being patient. I'm going to get to you guys. Like I said, I'm not going to do the world's longest live stream tonight just because of my current mood. But I'm actually feeling a lot better. I probably could go longer. We'll ride it out. We'll see how far we go. We got $10 here from Saquon. I think that's how you say it. I could be totally wrong. You know, you guys know I don't know how to read. Because I receive $3,700 monthly, free medical, dental, and vision for life, and I inherited a 3-bedroom home with land, no taxes, and a $200 utility, a small business, and I'm still struggling. Wow. Not cool. I mean, it is. I'm assuming you inherited that and you lost somebody. Definitely not cool on that, but at least you got the house. Not bad. Got to be grateful for that one. And the land, shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's stuff. But it's kind of crazy to think like you see all this and it's like, oh, still can't make it. It's kind of crazy. Actually, somebody who's really close to me is making, really great money, over 6 figures. And yeah, they're like, but you know what? It's like you kind of I'm guilty of this. You make more money, your bills go up. The typical. Yeah, it's the classic. I've done it. Took me forever to lower them back down. This guy goes $2. He goes, just take a cold shower, bro. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. I will. I actually did take a cold shower the other day. Mostly because my washer was running on hot and I forgot that it was on. So I took all the hot water away. But, I sucked it up. All right, let's keep this thing moving. Who's next? All right. Where are we at? Who did I say was next? Scott. I think I said Scott was next. Scott's coming in. And Scott, this whole live stream's on the line here. You fucked this up. Not cool. I'm just kidding. I like to put pressure on these people. All right, we got Scott coming in hot. Scott, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, brother. So how old are you and where are you calling from?
So I'm 45 and I live in the northern part of New York State.
All right. The north.
The north.
I like that. So Scott, what's percolating on your mind tonight? What's going on?
First of all, congratulations hitting 50,000.
Oh, thank you, man. I'm totally stoked.
A thousand on the live stream.
Oh, that's
Awesome,
a big
man.
deal. That's a big milestone.
That's huge.
That's never
That's
happened
huge.
before. I nearly shit your pants just now, just thinking about it. Yeah, it's trippy, crazy. I remember, dude, getting 1,000 views was like a big deal for me. Literally,
Sure.
like a comment, one comment used to be like, "Whoa, somebody watched this." Anyway, so what's on your mind tonight? Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man, not a problem. You actually, what you just said made me think. So as you make more money, your bills go up, right?
Generally, I don't want to say for everybody, but like I'm guilty of that.
So I'll give you the condensed version of my story. I was making $23,000 a year, had a car payment, a rent payment, and
How long ago was this?
This was back in 2007.
Oh, okay. So yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of not too long ago.
Not that well, not to me anyway, but yeah, time flies.
In the grand scheme of things, it's not that far.
And somehow I ended up scraping the money to buy a house, a foreclosure in 2008. And that was probably the one smart thing I did with money that entire time. But anyways, I was always broke, man. Like I was spending way more than I made, had credit cards, the whole nine, right? And
Typical.
The rock bottom for me, the local bar, the people that used to own it, every year around the holidays, they did a customer appreciation day and the drinks were free, right?
Of course, they gotta keep it's a free sample technique.
But as you know, you got to tip the bartenders. They're still there working, even though you're not paying for the drinks, right?
And free drinks, just so you know, as a former bartender, if I give you a free fucking drink and you don't even at least slip me a $5 on a $0 tab, safe to say that's the last free drink you're ever getting from me.
Yeah. So it was less than a week after payday. I'll never forget this. I went to the ATM to pull out some money to tip the bartenders. My balance was already in the negative, man.
Oh no.
I literally could not afford a free beer.
A free beer. That's pathetic. That's awesome. I love it. No,
but that stuck in my mind, and that was when I finally started learning about money and how to manage it.
I think that happens for most of us because that happened to me. You know, not that I wasn't good at making money. I was always able to stack bread.
Sure.
I just was never able to like invest it.
Right.
Make it grow. My version of investing money was like, I'm going to buy a bunch of stuff for a certain amount of money, and then I'm going to hope it sells for more. That was my version of investing. You know what I mean? That's more like kind of quick. You know, I guess it did. It kind of taught me some things. It did for sure. Absolutely. But that's what once I turned about 31, that's when I was like, okay, why can't I get past this number of money? It's always this fucking number, which I got to say, I'm super grateful to be able to reach this number because most people statistically don't have that. But there was something missing. I was like, I'm doing something wrong. And now it's like, I have an accountant. I have some people helping me out. I'm putting my money into a retirement fund. I'm putting my money over here. I'm learning how to do this. And I'm hoping that, you know, in the long run, I just keep doing that. And then eventually, you know, I'll be middle class.
Well, habits are hard to break, man, and that includes good ones. So the longer you keep doing it, the easier it gets. Trust me.
Absolutely. So you said you're in your 40s now?
Yeah, 45.
Okay, so how much do you think? How much? Oh, Jesus Christ! I got a hiccup. I'll be fine. Okay, so how much do you think? Like now, right? How far have you come? Like, if you were to look back at yourself from 2007 to now, would you, if you were your 2007 version of yourself sees you now, would you be like, holy shit, look at him go?
Oh, if you would have told me then where I'd be now, I would have looked at you like you were crazy. There's no way. Like, you know, like the stacks, the assets, like what you're doing, what you're driving. Which, by the way, I drive a 28-year-old truck, not because I have to, but because I want to. I can't stand car payments now.
It's probably reliable too.
It is.
Because you know what, there are old cars. Like there's I don't think I've ever brought this up in a car, like one of those car videos I do. I'm due for one, but sometimes I get burnt out of talking about stuff. I got to switch it up. But like older Toyotas, I'm sure they still do it now, but like older Toyotas and Hondas, they made it knowing that the consumer probably isn't going to take care of it. That's why you still see those like old 1995s to like 2004 Toyotas and those Hondas still riding heavy, because they literally made them knowing that you're not going to probably change the oil like till it's way past due.
A lot of people don't.
Yep. So that's kind of another thing too. But like then you go too far back, like for instance, the 1985 Cadillac I have, that would probably be a dumb decision to let that be a daily driver. Just, that's kind of different. But those certain sweet spot era of cars that you still see, like when you see a lot of a certain car, there's a reason for that. Like for instance, I drive a Ford Fusion 2017, and I see the same body style Ford Fusion all over the fucking town, everywhere. But I know why, because I'm pushing 220,000 miles on it, and I put all those miles on it myself, and that baby's still going. Yeah, I've had to do some maintenance here and there, but nothing over like $1,200 of a problem. Maybe $5,000 in maintenance over 7 years. Maybe. That's me, like, okay, if you include tires and stuff, maybe call it $7,000, because I drive a lot, so I have to get new tires. But yeah, man, it's safe to say that's a good car, and that's why I'm scared to even buy a new car, because I'm like sometimes I get in my head, I'm like, oh, that'd be cool to have that. That looks really dope, or have like a convertible. But then I'm like, that's just another thing that's going to break, and knowing me, I'll break it. So for real, like, I'm not saying I treat stuff poorly. I'm just saying when it comes to cars, I really get around. Like that's one, I like driving. I don't like speed and all that. I like going places. I move around a lot. Most people go, oh, that's 30 minutes away. That's far. I'm like, oh, that's 30 minutes away. That's chill. We'll be there. I'll be there. That's no big deal to me.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, man, Scott, you got anything else on your mind before I go to the next person?
I was just going to say, it beats the hell out of a $900 a month car payment, because for most of us, unless you use your vehicle for a business you own and you can write it off on your taxes and depreciate it, a vehicle's a liability.
Absolutely.
The more you can decrease that liability on your end, the better off you are, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And but to be fair, that is something I never bring up too. Like if you have a lease and you own a business, the lease can be a write-off. So I do understand that. So like people will bring that stuff up, and I'm like, yeah, dude, but most people don't own their own business. And like we're talking about the majority here. We're not talking about like I made a comment on a depressing video I posted yesterday about like addiction and stuff, about like, if you smoke weed every day, chances are you're probably not going anywhere. Like you're probably not going to go too far. And I get it. Like Bob Marley smoked weed every day and he's huge. And, Jimi Hendrix did heroin. So maybe I should give it a try. Maybe I'll, but like,
yeah, the exception doesn't make the rule, right?
Exactly. So, and I didn't mean to say it like that, because I was the dude who smoked weed every day. And I can attest to the results. Not saying that I maybe couldn't have persevered, because I do know a couple of stoners that are very successful. But guess what they do for a living? Anybody know? Anyone? They sell fucking weed. A lot of it. And they've offered me jobs in the past. And I said, no, thank you. I'm going to do it the hard way. I appreciate it. But, I don't want to be a millionaire. So no. But anyways, Scott, appreciate you calling in, man.
Thanks so much for having me on, man. Congratulations again.
Of course, brother. And congrats on your success, man.
Thank you, sir.
Peace. Good guy. I like him. All right. SG, he goes, I lost 100K gambling, probably spent 50K on my 5 DUIs. How are you not in prison? Come on. Seriously? 5 DUIs? It's good for you, man. That's nuts. Anyways, glad you're still kicking it. Or maybe he's in prison right now. He just has a phone. He goes, I make 60. Oh no, he's not in prison. He makes 62 grand a year, or he's extorting people in prison. That's how he makes 62 grand a year. He goes, I have a 70K invested, 5K in savings, no debt. I'm 43 though. After all, I'm doing okay, I think. Well, yeah, I mean, hopefully you gave up the gambling stuff, and hopefully that's your last DUI. I don't know if they're going to give you a license back, but that's awesome, man. I'm glad you're, it's never too late. Unless you're like 80. That's kind of like, well, whatever. I'm just going to ride it out. All right, we got Eddie coming in next. We're going to move through this last people in the queue. All right. Usually, and everybody here, I really appreciate everybody being here tonight. Got 50,000 subscribers. Big deal for me. Really just appreciate everybody and all the support, watching the bullshit that I do. Thanks for the $5 from Black Velvet Photography. Black Velvet. Hello. Goes, you're the absolute best, Jack. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Keep up the great shows. I will. My mother used to tell me that all the time. We got $2 from Shadow Work. Scott's got a cool Bronco. Yeah, I love how this guy knows cars so well. He knows the interior. That's awesome. All right, who's up next? All right, we got Eddie Money coming in next. Eddie, get ready, buddy. I'm about to get you in here. Hold on, let me get through one more of these. Another one from Saquon. Probably butchering that name, but it's fine. You're Saquon now. Thanks for the $5. People are ruthless in the comment section. How do you edit your videos? I'm starting a YouTube channel covering black crime, poor parenting. That'll probably blow up. I would click on that. Just a video that says black crime, poor parenting. People are going to click on that. I know I would. Now, just delivering on that, that's the hard part. Yeah, the comments can be ruthless, but it is what it is. Comes with the, I mean, dude, you could get haters at just working an office job, Cheryl in the back. It's like, shut up, bitch. Go back to your desk, You're going to get haters wherever you go. At least in the comment section, you don't have to see them in person. That's the perk. But I use Final Cut, and I use an editing system called Camtasia. That's how I do the reaction videos. There you go. The secret's out. Camtasia by TechSmith. Makes it super easy to use. It's like made for dummies. I love it. It's because I'm not good at editing, as you guys can tell. It's pretty poorly done editing. I try, but I wouldn't say it's great. All right, Eddie, you're coming in, man. I'm talking all this shit over here. You got Eddie Money coming in hot. Eddie, can you hear me?
Hey, Jack. What's happening?
Oh, just sitting here talking with you guys, man. Having a good time.
Congrats on your 50K.
Thanks, man. That was a pretty big deal for me, man. So, it's funny because like everyone's like, 50. To me, it's a huge deal. For me, it's like may as well be 1 million people. So I appreciate that. But anyways, Eddie, how old are you and where are you calling from, my man?
I'm 55. I'm calling from Woodland Park, Colorado. I called in, I don't know, 3-4 weeks ago. I couldn't get the camera thing to work. I figured out what the hell it was.
Yeah, well, you got a good
thing on the freaking.
I mean, you got the microphone. You got the microphone figured out. It looks like. So
I'm trying to figure this shit out. I'm trying to get my channel going. I'm trying to stay on the more of the like positive side. Like what kind of jobs will hopefully give you a good earning type of salaries or hourly wage.
Okay.
I watch your stuff and it's like, gosh dang it, it's kind of, all the people that it's not you yourself, but the people you find on TikTok.
Yeah.
It's just constant, just bitching and moaning and complaining.
Oh yeah.
We all have the right to do that,
Oh, for sure. But, absolutely.
But you got to do something about it. Like if you remember, I'm disabled, and hearing what the first guy, June in the Philippines, his Social Security. I was a union sheet metal worker in Chicago, and I'm bringing in 3 bills a month on my Social Security.
300,000. Oh, 3,000.
31.57.
Wow. Damn,
Yeah.
I thought the max was like 27.
No.
Oh, they upped that shit.
No,
Wow,
it's
that's good.
I think it's like 39 or 4,200.
Oh, wow, good for you. That's a big deal.
I was making over 90,000 for years in the sheet metal union.
And you were probably paying them the most, huh? I would assume.
Yeah.
or close to it.
Every year, every year. And that's what it seemed like. You know, you bust your butt. Unfortunately, the back took a shit, and I guess thank God for that backup reserve. And then I pull some pension money too. That's not including the pension money.
Oh, wow. So you're one of those fortunate guys to have a pension. Holy shit.
I'll take my healthy back, and keep working out there, making 100 grand plus a year. If I was still in Chicago, I'd be pulling down about 130, 135 in
Oh,
the
wow.
trades.
God
Yeah, because
damn.
I was a superintendent, and this gal is up there pretty high.
Hot damn.
And I'm just trying to promote the trades for the new young generations versus well, we need them. We're about 7 million short of across all the trades, and there's more to the industry of the construction world. There's over 180 types of jobs you could get. It's not
Well,
just carpenter, plumber, electrician.
well, what I was gonna say is because I did look into, I was nearly gonna give up on this whole career. I kind of did for a little bit, but I knew that I was like, no, I'm gonna do it. No sense in trying to do anything else. But when I was looking to get into like HVAC and stuff, as I was talking to like a couple of dudes, older cats that worked at the bar I was working or were regulars, they own their own HVAC companies. So I was asking them, I'm like, look, I don't see myself being really good at this shit, but I was like, what do you think if I like got in at a big company? What if I was just selling this stuff? You know, like I would still have to learn everything about it, you know, in order to sell it, which I was willing to do. But I was actually kind of shocked at the kind of money you could make being the salesperson. It was almost like you could make more, almost more, in a sense, depending on your position and what company you work at, of course. But I was kind of shocked by that because you don't think about the back end of that stuff. Like you don't think about like the people making the deals.
Yeah, and there's so many different entities, say in the HVAC, the sheet metal world. Like in my industry, I'm the third generation in the sheet metal industry. It's the same thing as HVAC, but being a union, you're a sheet metal worker, a tin knocker, and I mean, there's guys that after they get out of school, they just want to do the CAD side of it, and just basically
The what side of it?
CAD.
What does that mean? I'm sorry.
That's the oh my god, that's where they draw up like all the duct on the drawings, the blueprints.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah, they're the ones that's doing all the computer stuff.
They want to do the artsy stuff. They want to do
that's 2 years, 2 years of training, and
wow.
you could get in that side, and you don't have to kill your back. Like you said, you get into sales. You could be a project manager. You're basically in charge of getting all the submittals together, all the types of equipment, you know, the name brands, you know, where the architects and engineers approve. You could get in as a, you know, they have the assistant manager. I mean, there's several layers in that industry.
Yeah,
you know.
that's something too. Like, I have one really dear friend of mine. You know, he's kind of like not bitching and moaning too bad, but I had to point out to him. I was like, "Look, dude, you think I'm one of your best friends because you don't move? People don't like the way you move." I was like, "You think you just go into a new group of people and you're the center of attention and people want to be your best friend?" I go, "You have." It's like a lot of people discount having those people skills, the church steeple people skills, being able to talk and communicate and make people comfortable and like you. I was like, but you could use that. You don't need to be a YouTuber or any of that to use those skills. Like my old GM, I hope if you're watching this, oh, he's probably not watching this, but if he is, of the restaurant I worked at, people skills off the chart. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he's necessarily the world's best general manager of a restaurant, but I will say this guy could move and groove and really the way he talked, all he had to do was learn the restaurant business. He already had the skills to be the dude who's kind of running the show. And, you know, because he's got to communicate to everybody, and that's important. Like, I don't know how many people watching right now have had a manager where you're like, I don't know how you got this job, but I've had a bunch of those.
In the restaurant industry, there's a lot of growing. You grow in the right restaurant industry too.
Yeah, I've turned down like two different manager positions. Like I thought about it for a little while. I was like, I could easily become a general manager. I would have to learn a lot of stuff. Like I would have to do some grunt work for some years to pull it off. But like I could easily, I can't tell you how many places I've worked at where it's like, dude, come on. Like this is how you, but they did the years of the bullshit where you have to become a manager and then you start making less because you were a bartender. Now you're a manager, so you make less, which makes no sense. But then to get to the general manager position, you just have to keep learning every little aspect and nook and cranny of this business, which a lot of people don't want to do. I know I didn't. I turned down the job, but and it was like I was like, I'm gonna make less money. I was like, I don't think that sounds too smart. But in the long run, it would have been a smart move if that's what I wanted
How
to
long
do.
until you get back up to that point?
Exactly. Yeah.
And
then on top of that, like starting a new gig, right? Like especially now, especially if you're older, starting a new, like trying to switch careers, if you don't have money saved up to float you, which a lot of people don't, I think that's the hardest part. I think that's like the most difficult thing is just being able to have the time.
And that sucks because in 2014, when my back just took a shit, we just moved to Colorado. I transferred to the union out here, and all of a sudden, one day I get out of bed, I get with this company, a huge mechanical company. They're a multi-million-dollar company. They're in 3 states, and because I'm not an Indian, I'm a chief, more or less.
Oh,
and I've
nice.
always led the crews. And my second week, I was already the guy. Like, here, I'll give you 8 men. We're doing a huge project for HP. It was like a $20 million HVAC
What?
job.
Hewlett Packard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Up in Fort Collins. I was driving like an hour and a half to get up there, but when you're making all that money, it doesn't even freaking matter.
Sometimes you got to go get the bread. You got to obtain that grain. We're talking by the loaves. Keep going.
And then one morning I woke up, I couldn't even get out of bed. I couldn't even put my boots on. I couldn't even freaking walk. I'm like,
Jesus
I just
Christ.
need to see a chiropractor. I'm thinking that's what I did my whole life. And nothing worked. And it was more or less, and they told me, it's like, Eddie, you can't go back without that full work release. Let me show you a photo of what's in my back. If you can see this.
Holy shit. Would you have to have surgery? What is there, screws?
All 12-inch rods and 8 2-inch screws.
Shit. I got 6 screws. I got 6 screws in my hand, but that makes it look like mine like
the size of my finger, the screws.
Oh yeah, mine's like school. Mine's like Boy Scouts compared to that, for sure. Okay,
plus.
Let me ask.
Well,
let
anyways,
me ask you,
going back to, so I couldn't get to work, and I had a pretty decent amount of annuities sitting there because in the union you got your pension, you got your 401 annuity, and what sucked about that, I had to pull out all my annuity. It wasn't much. I wasn't putting a lot into it. I think I only had like 80 grand in there. I know that sounds like to someone else a lot of money, but when you're 45 years old, that's supposed to build up to be your retirement when you're 67, and hopefully it's at about 400,000, and then you have your pension, and then you have your Social Security, and then it should have been about 5,500, 6,000. That's what my retirement should have been.
Yeah,
but it isn't. I'm about four a month, 4K a month.
That's still, you know what though, all considering, that's pretty good. But now let me ask you one question before I let you go and get to the next cat in here in the stream. Get to this next person. So now that you said you're starting a YouTube channel, but you've been in the same business forever, right? How long are you in the sheet metal? The whole life. So
30 plus years.
So one thing that I think is awesome is the fact that you're sitting here going, okay, let me try this thing that didn't even exist 20 years ago. You think is that a little nerve wracking for you starting something like this, like coming into this space and being like, how the fuck do I do this?
Well, a year ago, I put up a channel. I wasn't putting I didn't know how to do recordings. Like, what camera do I use? I was doing stuff around my house. I mean,
I felt the same way.
I'm mobile because of drugs. I'm on some heavy pain pills. I'm on opioids, oxycodone and some other good stuff. But without that stuff, I couldn't walk like a people. You wouldn't know I have an issue until you see me walk. Like, got a little limp.
Got a limp to you, little pimp, like a heavy
And then when
pimp walk.
the drugs wear off, it's like, all right, I gotta sit down, relax, take my next dose. But it was not until about, I think, 2 months ago, I said I'm gonna try to figure stuff out. I didn't want to spend like $3-5 grand. I'm looking at cameras or
you don't need to do all that.
money. I found an old camcorder. It's like 5 years old, and I think we paid like $600 for this thing. It's a great camera. And then I learned how to do this stuff, bought this cheap microphone deal, and I'm just
sounds good.
Editing software, and but I mean, my YouTube channel is the Crippled Handyman. I think I got 127 subscribers, but it's more or less if I could reach one person out there that's just not going to give up and be like, hey, I want to get in the trades, because we need you. We need.
But also, that's awesome, man. You should also hook up with Industrial Dave. I don't know if you ever seen him on my channel.
I did hook up with him, and
but what I was gonna say is like I think it's smart for you because there's some cat, I forget his YouTube channel name, but he preaches about retiring early. He's like 61 or something, or 62. He took his Social Security early. He's got his 401k, but he was like my version because he wouldn't have enough to retire. He's like, watch this old man figure out YouTube. Watch me do it. And he's not doing it to be famous or anything. He's just like, hell, if I could even just make an extra $1,000, $2,000 a month, he's like, why not? Because otherwise he's like, what am I going to do? Like, he's like, I don't know what the hell I would even. So I think it's awesome that you're doing it, man. It takes, a lot of young kids out here can't even figure it out. So I think that's awesome, man. I'm going to go ahead and, was it the handicap what?
No, the Crippled Handyman.
The crippled handyman. Well, you got a new subscriber. I'll be checking you out, brother. And I really appreciate you calling in, Eddie. Sorry about your back, brother.
Keep your head up. If you want some fresh mountain air, I got a whole separate living area on my property.
I'm going to be having free hotel Airbnbs if I utilize all these offers, man. Take it easy, Eddie. I appreciate you, man.
Take care.
Later. All right. I like him, man. That's cool. I'll give him respect for that. It takes can't teach an old dog new tricks, huh? Dusty Crab. That's a great name. All right, we got 2 more people we're gonna let in here. We're gonna wrap things up, kind of wind down the show. I know it's not as long as I normally go, but it is what it is. Dusty Crab, $2. Thank you. He goes, are you into motorcycles? Yes, I am. But where I live, I'm kind of scared to ride them because it's like LA traffic out where I live now. I don't know. Like I've ridden dirt bikes before. A lot of fun. It's been years, but yeah, I do like motorcycles though. I do like them, but I'm kind of scared to, fall and die. Typical. Tone Talks, my guy. What's up, brother? Tone Talks is super cool. I did a live stream with them. It's probably his most recent live stream on his channel called Tone Talks. Really, really cool dude. I really appreciate you having me on your channel, man. I do. He's got carte blanche, man. Dude had Ice Cube on his channel. I was like, this guy's big time. Anyways, thank you, Tone. I really appreciate that, man. Tone Talks. He's cool, man. I like him. We get another $5 from Joker, Blitz Media, 55 here. Where did you get your wisdom at your age? Probably my parents. Believe it or not, I know I talk a lot like on this, but I'm really good at just listening. I'm like really good at it. And actually really going, oh yeah, yes, old wise one. Tell me the goods. And then also I fucked up a bunch. So, I just try and learn from that too. I don't know. I'm still kind of like somebody said I was retarded earlier. I'm like, yeah, we're all a little stupid. Not everybody's perfect. Come on. Seriously. I don't know though, but I wouldn't claim I'm like the most wisest guy in the world, but maybe I'm an old soul. Maybe all that stuff is true. I don't know. Destined for Life, my boy Dustin, the old school, the white Canadian rapper, Destined for Life. That's my dog right there. That's my man. Canada in the house. Call him the Maple Leaf Bandit. Yeah, don't believe me. Victor Mendoza with the $20 from downtown. He goes, what would you do with some land? Depend if it was in Florida, I'd probably end up selling it because property tax would be too high unless I was in like the middle of Florida or somewhere where it's a little cheaper. But if I had some land, I don't know, I'd probably try and figure out how to build some houses on it. Not rent them out, but maybe like, you know, be like, hey, you know, a couple of my like brothers and their wives, I'd be like, hey, maybe we should build some properties on here if we want to pitch in, or maybe I'd rent it. Or if it was just like a vacant piece of land where it's kind of like hidden, I would rent out and let people go live in their cars and like RVs there. This old dude, George, that lives down the street from me, he's like 90 something. I hope he's still alive. But he's got like a little acre lot with with his house there, but he has like these big hedges around his lot, but he rents out. People can park their boats there. They could live there if they want, like on his land in like their cars or RVs. And that's how he's funding his retirement. So I don't know if I'd want to do that if I was living at the house. I probably wouldn't do that. But if it was like a vacant land and it was kind of hidden, I'll probably let some people crash there for, you know, a decent price. You know, I wouldn't gouge them. You know, I'd just be like, hey, you know, whatever, just come on in. You could sleep here. Just pay me this much a month. You know, maybe try and hook up some electricity to it or something. That's what I would do with land, though. Maybe grow some food. That'd be cool. Learn how to grow some shit. That'd be awesome. Maybe a little bit of bota. You know what I mean? No, I'm just kidding. You're still not allowed to do that where I live. But thanks for the $20. Got Phil with another 5 hot ones. So congrats on the 50K. Once you get your first 1,000, all you got to do is keep your nose clean and stay consistent. 100K coming 2024. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Yeah, I've never actually done like coke or anything. Hard drugs. Just weed and alcohol. Did mushrooms twice. I really don't think I'm ever going to do them again. But let me see. All right, who do we got coming in next? Oh, I didn't even see you in there, Saquon. Damn, man, you'd be donating all this money. I'm letting you sit in here sweating. My bad, man. I'm about to get Saquon in here. Saquon's donated a bunch of money. I'm just letting him sit in the queue, just waiting. It's like, thanks for your money, bro. Loser. Holy Snikes. Got 100 big ones from DJ. Thank you so much. Congrats on 50K. You have a big heart. Appreciate you. I appreciate you. They seriously. Thank you very much. They say money can't make you happy, right? Can make you feel a little bit better, though. I will say that. Thank you very much. Seriously. I really, really appreciate that. All right. Let's get Saquon in here. Saquon, can you hear me, brother? Saquon, I know you've donated a decent amount of money here, but I need you to pick up the pace here, brother. All right, Saquon's ruining the whole stream. Very generous man, though, with a kind heart. All right, I'm gonna, you know, I'll try and get you back on, bro, but I'm gonna keep this moving. All right, we've got who's up next? Who's been waiting the longest here? I'm sorry, you got a bunch. It looks like the Brady Bunch down below my computer screen. Just a bunch of people's faces, just kind of bobbing around. They're all like, you know, it's kind of cool though, because if a joke hits, I know if like they're laughing. I'm like, oh, that was a good one. All right, let's see. We got Jacob coming in. Okay, so we're gonna end it with this. We're gonna go Jacob. We're gonna do Urban Legend. We're gonna do Lori, and then we'll try Saquon one more time, and then that is it. All right, let's do Jacob. Let's do Jacob first. Jacob, you're coming in, and don't be like Saquon, ruin the entire evening for everybody. Okay?
Am I there? Hi.
Jacob, you're live.
Whoa, am I on the internet? Holy shit!
you made it, man.
Wow.
So,
yeah, I'm successful.
Jacob, how old are you, and where are you calling from, brother?
I'm 25. I'm calling from Olympia, Washington. I'm working my job right now, and I'm clocking out on my lunch break so I can talk to you. Because I'm not sure how to. Okay, there we go. But yeah, I'm delivering for Amazon. It's a chill job. With my funny hat, having a good day.
The bucket hat man.
Yeah,
you
man.
Got your,
yep.
Do you have your hazards on right now?
Yeah, I do. I'm pulled over.
Is it like against company policy to turn those off?
Dude, they'll hire anybody, dude. I can. I've been here a while. Cool. I can kind of get away with whatever. But I'm ready. Okay, I just wanted to call in to be like super positive and tell everybody, you know what? Everything's gonna be fine. Okay, the world might be going to shit. Like, you might not have money to do anything. You might be starving to death, and you might be about to die tomorrow. But you know what? It's okay. Everything's fine. Everything is exactly how it's supposed to be, and we're all struggling because we want to, just because that's what the universe wants to see, I guess. So that's kind of morbid, but like, if you think about it, we're all just kind of like the universe convinced we're people, and we're all like convinced we're going through all these struggles and everything's so hard. But it's just, if you look at it from another perspective, it's just like everything that has to happen will happen, or anything that can happen like kind of will happen. And so the bad things that can happen will happen, and you might end up in those, and hey, here we are. But you know, yeah, does that make any sense?
No, I get exactly what you're saying, but also the whole universe and looking at it from a different perspective. I agree with it on that extent. I don't want to sound like some crystal chick or nothing, but like they do have a good point. If you like whatever you focus on, generally will happen to you. So if you keep focusing on like, and I'm not saying shit can't go south, it can, but I'm saying if you focus on like what you do want and where you want to go, and like I do want to make decent money, I do want to be happy, I do want to be able to do this stuff, then you'll probably start getting those things. But if you're one of those people, everybody knows these people. You've had these in your life where they go, everything sucks. This shit always happens to me. I can never get ahead. They're always saying negative things about themselves, but they do that forever because they keep saying that. But like the moment you kind of switch that and go, you know what? I do have a pretty decent job. What's up?
I said I used to be like that. That used to be basically who I am. Like every day was a bad day. Like I'd wake up and like, I mean, I didn't realize it at the time, but it's because the way I was like judging the universe was that like good things had to happen to me, like from like the morning when I woke up until the end of the day for me to have a good day, rather than just like saying, you know what, I'm alive, I exist. Why not just be grateful for that? Like if you stop thinking about, oh, like, is this going the right way? Is this not going the right way? You just stand back. You can just be like, I don't know, I have everything I need. I have air to breathe. I have water to drink, food to eat. Like the big thing about humanity is where we have this like profound discontent with whatever we're doing. Like no matter who you are, where you are, you.
Sorry, Jacob, you're cutting out, man. But I love your positive energy, and I do agree with them. I had a sorry, man. It was going nutso. It was like really wigging out there. It's kind of hurting my ears. No offense, man. I love the energy. I think he's got an awesome point, though, man, because I'm not going to front. There was a point in my life where I would say, I'll never be able to pull that off. You know, like, what's the chances of that happening? Or, you know, stuff like that. I would actually say those things. And guess what? They all came true. And I do still say those things about things I don't want to do. Another little trick. But the moment I started saying, like, no, I can do that. I could totally pull that off. You know, I could do that. I go, how do I make 60 grand a year and only work 30, 40 hours a week? You know, I go, I could pull that off, you know, or well, I mean, I worked much more than that, but in the beginning. But like, I do agree with what he said. And yeah, you might not get everything. I'm not saying here, be like, I'm going to drive a Lamborghini. I'm going to do this. I'm not saying like, I mean, you could go if you want to go all the way, you know, fuck it. Why not? But for the most part, like life did get better. Like things started happening when I was like, no, I could do it. I was like, oh yeah, that one didn't hit, but I could do it. Like, I'm going to figure this is cool. Like, I do agree with him. I really do. You know, to an extent, you know, I agree. I totally agree. Once again, DJ, thanks for the $100. Really appreciate that. Seriously. Alberto, my boy, the Chicago Bandit. What's up, brother? Haven't seen you around in a while. Thanks for the $5. Oh, he even said that. What's up, Jack? Been a while. Glad to see Gen Z and younger people are ditching the dating apps. Yeah. I mean, I still think dating apps can be good. You know, if you're using them with the right intention, or if you're using them with the wrong intention. I mean, it could go either way. If you're a sexual deviant, you know what I mean? Do your thing. Appreciate the $5, Alberto. I hope you're doing great, brother. We got Troll Police with $2. What's your horoscope sign? Technically, I'm a Libra, but I identify as a Capricorn. I'm just kidding. I think I'm a Libra. All right. We got Lori coming in hot. Lori, you know the deal. You get in here, and we're going to need you to shake it, mama. Sequin. Oh, I'll drop the link for you. Maybe I tried getting you on. It says you're in the stream. I'm definitely butchering this guy's name. Saquon, I just dropped the link again. I'll get you in here. All right, let's get Lori. Okay, Lori, you're next, then Urban Legend, and then we're going to end the note with this mysterious Saquon. All right, Lori. Oh, Lori, you're back.
Hello.
We've got her back. All right. So, Lori, for the new people watching, how old are you and where are you calling from?
So I'm 30 and I'm from Maine.
All right. So can I give the just in case people don't know what you called in the first time for? I'm going to give a little backstory. Let's see how well my memory is. So Lori's 30 and she got into a relationship super fast with a guy and they moved in with each other. I could be wrong, but within about a month. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, give or take. Yeah.
So within a month of knowing each other, the guy moves into Lori's place. He doesn't just move in, but he brings fish tanks with him. He brings his fish, not a dog, not a cat, fucking fish.
Well, he brought a cat too, actually.
Okay, so a cat and fish.
Yeah.
And not just like a goldfish jar, like a fucking aquarium, right?
3 tanks.
3 tanks. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, so after a few months after that, they started hitting a bit of a rough patch. Now Lori's calling to fill us in.
Well, so I've been making notes just so I wouldn't forget what I wanted to say. So first of all, congrats on 50K.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
I still remember when you had 10K, so you've come a long ways.
Unreal.
Appreciate and then that. Also, I'm sorry for what you're going through with your situation too.
Oh, it's okay. You've been around since 10K, so you probably could do the math on that whole circle thing I was talking about. No, it's cool. It's like I said, it's not the end of the world. Like I'm good. Like I'm making a living. I can support myself. Things are going great. I have much more to be thankful for than, this one mishap that could possibly, bring me down for a while. But anyway, so fill us in with this fish tank cat man situation here.
So I kind of wish, well, obviously I do wish that it had a happier ending, but I wanted to call for a couple weeks now, and then it seemed like the whole situation kept changing and everything. So my ex and I, he left. I broke up with him. I was trying to get in touch with him for him to get his things, figure out the situation. He has his cat who is 12 years old. I still have the cat.
Wait, so the guy, did he move out already?
Well, he was kind of on the run for weeks. I hadn't seen him for weeks and weeks.
Just left you with fish and a cat.
Yeah. So I finally had reached out to his parents because I couldn't get a hold of him and I wasn't sure what was going on. So his parents were very nice and they, were like, yeah, we're going to try to talk to him and everything. And so I waited a few days. His parents told me that they were going on a cruise and when they were going to come back from the cruise, they would come get his stuff. And then, so it was one weekend. I went up to see my dad for his birthday and we were about to go out to dinner and I get a call from his mom and I kind of had this feeling like, that's weird how she's calling me. And he ended up committing suicide.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. I couldn't even believe it. Like as soon as she called me, I was like, "Are you serious? Like, is this even really happening right now?"
I'm gonna pour some out. Pour some out for the fish tank, homie. Hold on, we're gonna drip a little bit. Hold on, I gotta be very careful. There it is. We'll pour a little out for him right there. That's I just spilled that all over my lap, by the way.
Oh no. Well, the fish are in fish tank heaven. So I mean, they've been in there for months now at this point, or weeks now, whatever, how long it's been. But today his dad just showed up to get the rest of his stuff. He did this on Leap Day, which there's so many things I could say, but like, in a way, I guess the silver lining with that is like I don't have to relive the day for 4 years from now. And I just think about like how different my life will be in 4 years time, you know. But
first of all, I mean, but you were planning on you guys were like broken up.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't believe I didn't think, first of all, I was hoping you would call back in and fill us in on the story, but I got to tell you, I did not see this happening.
I know.
I did not see this coming.
I know. I feel like everyone.
I can't believe it. I don't even want to make a joke about it. I'm just like, fuck.
No. It made me realize that I don't think we really know what people are going through, you know? Like,
yeah, good point.
You can put on a show and say, you know, act like you are a straightforward person, nothing bothers you, but at the same time, like, we just don't know. And obviously, it's been so emotional going through this because I feel bad that I was upset with him in the last few weeks of him being around because I wanted him to get his stuff. I wanted to know what he was thinking. What are you doing? Are you going to leave your cat? Like what, you know?
How old was he?
He just turned 31 in December.
You know what? It's probably just one of those things where it's like, I did a kind of depressing video yesterday about just like depression, anxiety, addiction. Mm-hmm. And I figured the video would go 1 or 2. It'd probably do okay, but it's pretty serious. But I didn't bring any of that up because, you know, it's YouTube's so sensitive. But that's like where like a lot of people are, man. It's like they don't know how they're going to fucking survive. So it's kind of like, oh, this is my plan B or C or D or E or F, you know, and it's just kind of, that's fucked up. I did not see this coming.
I know.
I appreciate you calling in about it. I was actually curious to what was going to happen with the whole situation, but wow.
I will say, you know, his dad showing up today, like it was kind of, it kind of gave me some closure in the situation, you know, because I mean, I've been looking at his stuff for weeks, wondering what was going to happen. And then obviously finding this out, like it's so many emotions. And I did care about him. But the only reason I broke up with him is because, I realized like, okay, he was
using you,
taken advantage of. And, you know, he wasn't honest with me either. So that was why I was like, I don't think this is going to work out. But obviously, I never wished for this to happen.
No, of course not. You just didn't want to get taken advantage of. And then.
Right. And I think it also, what was I going to say? Well, someone earlier had called in the guy who was the single dad. Yeah. And I just want to say, like, it really does. I mean, I know everyone has a different life, you know, everyone's dealt different hands, but like if your parents are in your life, I feel like it really is such an important thing to like have a relationship with them, you know? And I think I just assumed that he was close with his parents and that they were going to reach out and everything, kind of like how my parents would have done if it were me. And I think it just, you know, everyone does have a different situation. We just never know. But I think having people in your life that when you're going through something like that, it does help to call and talk to someone. Like, nobody really, you know, I've been there before. Like, I don't want to call those hotlines, but sometimes you just have to tell someone what you're feeling, you know?
Well, another thing that I could be wrong here, but I feel like people who say they're going to do it, don't do it. But the ones who they don't talk about it, they're like, I don't talk. They're actually about it. And I just can't even believe that. I'm so sorry. But Lori, thank you so much for calling in and filling us in. And good luck with dealing with that. And fuck, man, you know, it makes my whole circle story problem seem like Boy Scouts.
everything gets better, in time. So I feel like that's just it. It does suck. You learn a lot of hard lessons, but I think at the end of the day, it's like you just have to keep moving forward and, obviously deal with things one day at a time. But
Yeah. Well, anyways, Lori, best of luck to you. And
thank
geez,
you.
till next time we talk. And fuck, I'm sorry. Unreal,
I
man.
know. Thank you,
Good
Jack.
luck with
Well,
good
and
luck with that fish tank.
congratulations with everything too. So
Oh, I almost feel like I can't even accept that. Thank
I
you.
ended on a positive note here.
All right. Thank you so much, Lori. I'll talk
All
to you
right.
soon. Bye. Didn't see that coming. Jesus Christ. You never know what you're going to get on this channel. Got 100 big ones. Jesus. Thank you so much. From brimming with delight. Damn, $100. Thank you so much. Puff, puff, metaphorically speaking. Bean deli bum bum. All right. We're going to keep this moving. I said I was only going to do like an hour tonight. We're going to 2 hours. That's fine. That's cool. All right. Finally, we got Saquon in here. I'm going to get him. All right. There's only going to be 3 of you left, and I am going to call it a night because I promised myself that I would, or I could do a speed date thing. Maybe just do a panel. All right. Saquon's coming in hot. Finally get to see who this guy is. Saquon, can you hear me, brother?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. How you doing?
I'm great, man. So how old are you and where are you calling from?
So I'm 33 and I'm calling from Charleston, South Carolina.
Excellent. So real quick, I saw a couple of comments earlier saying everybody in here is 33. A little trick of the trade. That's why I always say my age in videos, because it's like, even if maybe you don't like resonate with me a bunch,
yeah,
at least you'll go, oh, we're the same age. Just a little trick of the trade. It's like a way to get people to kind of feel comfortable with you. Like, oh, it's like, oh, we're the same age. That's cool. It's like we have nothing else in common, but we're the same age. So anyways, man, I appreciate the donations tonight too, by the way. Thank you very much. So what's on your mind tonight, brother?
Yeah, man. I just want to say it's hard out here. You read my comment earlier. I'm a disabled vet, so I separated from the Air Force about 7 years ago, and I got 100% VA disability and everything. Inherited a house from my grandmother, and one issue I had when I separated, I had a lot of stuff going on psychologically, but one thing I had, I was young, got out of the Air Force, had a lot of money, didn't know how to manage it. I moved to a party town and I blew it all on just alcohol,
Guilty.
girls. I was 25 and I just got a military. I was crazy back then. But now baby. I'm actually doing a lot better.
Oh, that's
when
good.
I say I'm struggling, it's really just the cost of living is so crazy right now. Well, not the cost of living, but the cost of everything is so crazy right now.
Yes.
I own a small business, and the cost associated with that, I own a small detailing business and the cost associated with that is astronomical. I have a lot of friends and family that live around me. They're struggling to make ends meet. It's crazy. My mother, she's actually a millionaire in real estate. Believe it or not. Yes. Yeah. And
I believe it.
Yeah, she's a millionaire in real estate, works for the government because she just wants to stay active. She makes almost $200,000 a year, and she's feeling this economy. So that's the reason people need to find, like you mentioned in a lot of your videos. I just found you like a week ago, dude, and I really resonate with a lot of your stuff. You said your dad has.
Get on in here.
You said your dad has Alzheimer's. My grandfather had Alzheimer's. He passed away. My grandmother has dementia, and she's still alive. I'm taking care of her. That's the reason why I'm living in her house, because I'm taking care of all her animals and everything. But
I commend you for that, because I took care of my dad for a while before I got him, and for a while, I mean about 10 years. And I commend you, man, because it is not hard. After I put out a video about my dad's dementia one time, and I ended up having like an influx of people like hit me up on Instagram, and I couldn't believe, I know it's probably a small number of people, like if you think about worldwide, but I couldn't believe how many people were doing the same thing. But maybe it wasn't with their dad, but it was with their grandma or their grandpa or, a loved one. And I couldn't believe how many people were in the same position I was. I was like, oh, wow. Because when you're walking around, I don't just go up to people and go, hey, I'm Jack. I take care of my dad with dementia. You don't happen to do that, do you? So no one can really.
You're the first person I've told to watch.
Yeah, so you don't really tell people because you don't want to like burden them. I guess I was just using this as like an escape, like, oh, I could vent here. So anyways, keep going. So you're taking care of your grandma. You got a small detailing business.
But yeah, so all I'm saying is, with your past content, you mentioned that people need to find like an extra source of income. And, owning a small business right now is really the way to go. I mean, you have to. Rent prices are ridiculous. Here in Charleston, rent's like $2,000 for like a one bedroom, for like a 1-bedroom apartment. It's hard. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. And
in North Carolina, or is that South Carolina?
Charleston, South Carolina. We have everything out here is expensive. And
how is that so? Like, that's so confusing to me. Like, I just can't believe how, like, Alabama, you know what I mean? Like, I just can't believe places like this are so expensive. Keep going. I'm just wrapping my head around it.
Charleston's expensive because ever since the whole Dylan Roof thing, a lot of people started coming to Charleston, for tourism.
Okay.
A lot of people unfortunately, that kind of blew Charleston up. And Charleston has all these historical things, and then the prices started going up because 60-something people start moving there. That you get it. So, yeah, man, that's one of the points I wanted to make is just you got to have a small business if you want to make it in this economy. But then the second thing, and this is really what's been on my mind, totally different, is all of the crazy African-American crime that's been going on lately. Like with the whole Six Flags thing that happened recently, where Six Flags opened up and then all these kids came rushing onto the property and just start trashing everything.
I didn't see that. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I was watching that and I'm just sitting here and I'm like, what the heck? You're seeing all these like flash grabs where kids are running into these stores and stealing stuff.
Yeah, have you guys seen that shit? Where like I haven't seen one in a while, but for a minute it was just like people raiding Walmart and I'm talking just taking everything, just like 100 deep, just waltz in and just grab everything and just wreck the place. I couldn't believe that. I was like, that's next level shit, man. Like, that's crazy. And you know what's even crazier too? Me and my boy Taco, one of my best friends. We had some friends out in Long Beach, acquaintances. But when we saw a lot of that looting going on, we couldn't believe how many people that we knew were a part of that. We were actually kind of like shocked. We were like, damn, like, I can't believe all these people that we're associated with went in and participated. And we're talking about kids that have like, they're 30-year-olds, their mom's paying for their rent still, like they're not struggling. You feel me? Like they're good, just partaking in it for the fuck of it. And I remember just being like, I was like, unfollow, delete your number. Like, I don't even want to be associated with you. I'm not saying I've never stole anything in my life. I have. Nothing serious. I got arrested at JCPenney's for stealing a $15 bracelet. I wish I knew it was 65% off, but that's beside the point. I'm not saying I've never done anything like mischievous. I've made mistakes, but I definitely never fucking went in and ransacked somebody's business and just fuck shit up.
Yeah.
And help, so I just can't even fathom that. Anyways, keep going with the Charleston. Keep it going.
Yeah, man. So it pisses me off because there's a lot of African Americans that are mad about what's happening, but we're all getting bundled together. And with this I can't even say small group of people because it's so many, but we're getting bundled in with these delinquents running around committing all these crimes. That's the reason why when I was mentioning, when I sent you that super chat, I really want to create a YouTube channel that just highlights that. It's almost like a voice speaking out against it, because being African American, I'm very in the middle politically. If you say anything, against, if you say anything against just the whole liberal ideology, if you say anything against all the status quo, you get ousted. People, curse at you. People won't want to be around you. So, and if it makes people afraid to speak up against a lot of stuff we're doing, it makes people afraid to hold other African Americans accountable. So that's what I want to do with that channel. is hold black people accountable and just be a voice speaking out against it. But my question to you is, what are your thoughts on, like, what do you think could be I hate to say solution, but what do you think could help with all like the crazy rioting that you're seeing out there, all the crazy looting, the bad parenting, because you got black parents, I can't even call them parents, it's almost child abuse, really, if you think about it. Now be careful what I say on your channel, I'm sorry.
No, that's straight.
You see them allowing their children to listen to all kinds of, like, you know, the thug killing rap music, or sexually perverted music. It's all just leading them down this horrible path that's going to eventually land them in prison. You know, they're going to eventually start stealing, and it keeps this whole cycle going. So what do you think could be a possible solution?
Well, you know what I was just gonna say. Oh, later, Dustin dropped out, man. Damn, that was my boy.
Oh, sure.
Anyways, damn, we lost him. We lost a brother.
He fell.
What I was gonna say was, unfortunately, it's kind of like, okay, so we had a saying back, because you know what, I did sell some weed when I was younger. Moderately successful. That's kind of a joke if you think about it. But what I will say is like, we had a kind of a joke with me and my inner circle. We called it you have drug dealing music, which is an influence. And even me, as just some white dude, was influenced by that. And then we had drug using music, which is kind of like today's kind of culture. So it influences you to do one or the other or both. But unfortunately, I think it's I don't want to sound corny, but it's trendy. You get what I'm saying? It's kind of like, why'd the trick and cross the road? Everyone else was doing it. It's like one of those situations. I wish my boy Shape was just in here. Another black gentleman. He was just in here. I wanted to bring him on because he's talked to me about, like, since he doesn't conduct himself as like a hood guy, that like he would actually kind of get ridicule from his fellow peers and his black culture. And so like, you're a well-spoken gentleman, you were in the military, you own your own small business, sounds like you're doing everything to like goody two shoes way, which is pathetic to think that that's like, it's funny that that's how some people think. I think it's really just, that's shown more than, for instance, you owning a small detailing business. You see what I mean? Like,
yeah, and they're pushing that kind of stuff out there too.
And I think the more and more that, like, you show like, no, we could go this way and make just as much money. I think the more that happens, that will become more trendy, and like, so somebody like you starts a YouTube channel, right? And you focus on how you said you want to focus on that community. And how you want to do? Oh, I could easily do that. How much did he say he's making doing that? I could pull that off, you know. So I feel like the more and more that happens, that's how it's going to go. Because you never hear no fucking, what rap song have you ever heard besides like early '90s? That's like, you know, own my own business, I'm paying taxes. You know, like, you never hear that, or like
never.
You hear a song, right? Like a rapper, you never hear a rapper go, you know, every rapper's like, I'll take your bitch, right? You never hear a rapper go, I don't need your girl, I got my own. Okay. You never hear that.
Yeah.
It's not, that's not a thing, right? Like there's a song I mentioned in yesterday's video that I did by a group called Gangstar, and the song's called Moment of Truth. Bro, you go listen to that and you're going to be like, oh, wow. I didn't realize there could be a really good rap song that's talking about some positive ass shit. Like, and it's hard. It's a good ass song. I highly recommend people listen to it. You might go, that kind of stuff has been diluted to how you're saying. Like, for instance, we got, what's your name? Mark, right? Urban Legend.
Yep. Mark.
So we got Mark Banco over here, single father. Forget where you're calling from, but
Pennsylvania.
Gotcha.
Ooh, Pennsylvania. I used to live there.
I remember. So what's your thoughts on that? Like, I think it's nothing really new. Like, I feel like rock and roll used to be kind of the same concept, like in a sense, maybe not as malicious, but like, what's your thoughts on that? Like with you know, everybody kind of, you know, with this hood mentality, like kind of like you know, like robbing people's cool. Like, what's your thoughts on all that?
Well, I think the music in general, you compare the rap from the 90s to now, and the one thing that's so different, aside from lyrics, is this dark, occult, satanic scenery, the music, the lyrics, all of it's gotten so dark. And then I would attribute that to a lot of these smash and grabs or these attitudes that a lot of these youth are doing as a result of what they're listening to constantly.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times like people get in my car, and if you live in South Florida area, it's a 100.3 or some shit. I don't even know how to say it, but it's called Legends 100.3. And like I'll have like just some old like 1940s music playing. Not all the time. I'll do listen to rap here and there. I listen to a lot of genres.
Right.
But that's kind of like my go-to, just like cruising. I have somebody in the car with me. Because it's relaxing. It's like it's peaceful. But I can't tell you how many times I get kind of like this is in the car. Ready? This is them. I turn the radio up. Get ready. This every time. Every time. Every fucking time. Okay,
Yep.
maybe a few times people are like, oh yeah, like I didn't know you listen to music like this. I do too. You know, like I play or they play piano or some shit. But most of the time it's, you okay, bro? Not kidding. Every time. And it's and the reason I play that kind of music, and sometimes I even listen to just music with no words, is just because it's like I don't want to like subliminally like feel like I want to rob a bank or something all the time. You know, there's sometimes where I'll put on some rap songs where it's like it's kind of intense, you know, but it's just a mood, you know, you're feeling a certain way or something, you just kind of a way to lash out, you know. But I don't necessarily act on that. But when you're young, I think I don't think anything's by real accident. Like I don't think that shit's promoted for no reason.
Oh, it's done by design.
It's on purpose for sure.
Wow, conspiracy. Yeah, yeah.
Little tinfoil hat.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's get John B in here. John B, let's ask your thoughts on this because you guys are the last of the Mohicans. We're gonna wrap the show up with you guys here.
Awesome.
So John, first of all, how old are you and where are you calling from, brother?
I am 33 and I'm calling from California.
It's a magic number. Say, it's not by accident. I am a psyop. No, I'm just kidding. So what's your thoughts on like modern day music that they really promote? Like you think that shit's on accident, or you think they want everybody acting fools? Like, what's your thoughts on that? And this is all entertainment stuff, so don't, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of by design. I don't really listen to newer music. I like the older stuff. So the older stuff has always been pretty good. But yeah, like you said, the drug stuff and everything that's going on right now is I don't know, not so good. So
yeah, and I'm not saying all of it's bad. Like I do listen to some new music. Like I do. There's some good shit out here. Like I'm not saying there's not, but there's definitely a huge uptick in like pretty risky shit, dude. Like,
complete lawlessness.
Yeah, just like have sex with everybody, get money. Well, getting money, you should probably do that. But yeah, like I targeted children. Yeah, but it is kind of crazy that like I don't know, man. I don't want to go too deep on it, but I definitely don't think it's by accident. So let's switch gears here. Let's do Mark, and then we'll do John, and then we'll even the odds. Hey, Saquon, I appreciate you calling in, brother. I really do.
Hey, man.
Whenever you finally start your channel, feel free to hit me up on Instagram. I could give you a couple pointers.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, brother. All right, we're gonna get Silver Stack and David on here for the last hurrah. So Mark, urban legend up here. What's something on your mind tonight? And we're gonna let you end us off with this note, and then we'll have John here and Dave kind of give their input on it.
All right. Well, All right. See, my mind works like yours. I got a million things in here. Sometimes I get sidetracked, but I'm going to go with this. So, I guess most of Congress, with the exception of like Ron Paul, maybe a few others, everyone else agrees to ban TikTok. And I just find that so fascinating. They can't agree on a border wall. They are okay with measles outbreaks all across the U.S. as a direct result of this invasion. Healthcare, inflation. I mean, we go down the list all day. They can't agree on shit. But banning TikTok, they can agree on that.
I
And
thought
it's
it was
so frustrating.
I thought it was hilarious because my fake uncle sent me an article. We go deep on some weird shit sometimes. We just spitball, we don't take it too serious. But he sent me an article on the banning TikTok shit, and he thought it was hilarious because he thought it was so funny that their reason for it was that China could access our information. I was like, as if they're not accessing our own country, accessing all this shit already. Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
What? Like that to me, to somebody who's like able to kind of look at it and go, what? That like, to me, I'm just sitting there going, well, that don't make no sense. And then you bring up like I said, guys, we're just getting kooky here. But you bring up like the border problem, all these other problems, and they're worried about banning TikTok. Well, the thing about TikTok is they can't necessarily censor it because they don't own it.
Bingo.
So YouTube, I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong. All hail Google. Thank you for giving me a paycheck, Google. But I'm pretty positive Google's in the US and they're abiding by that. So, I'm pretty sure that when this video is done and we all exit out of here, this video will probably be demonetized, which is fine. It's all good. It's all cool with me. I don't just do every video just for the money. Sometimes I want to have fun. And if it don't make, if the video don't make a shit ton of money, it's fine. I've done hundreds of them for free anyways, but they're able to kind of control this. But TikTok, they can't control it. You type in on Instagram or YouTube, like war in somewhere or, something kind of crazy, bro, you're just going to get News Channel 5. That's all you're going to get. But if you type it in on TikTok, you'll get people like me, people like you, people like John B, people like Stack and Dave. They'll be at the top search.
Yep.
And TikTok. So I think that's kind of like what it is. You know what I mean? Like, what's your thoughts on that, John or Dave? Dave, if you're alive, if you can hear us.
Yeah, I'm here.
Well, the TikTok thing, isn't that a Trojan horse too? They're like putting other things in that bill that will ultimately let the government control more. And that's kind of why they're all for it. It's not just TikTok. It's basically the entire social media internet as a whole. So they could just basically dictate what you do and don't see. If they don't like it, they can ban you, whatever it is, they can just turn you off. And
I mean, that's just cable television. That's just radio.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what that is. Real quick. Thank you, Lost but Found. I appreciate those kind words, man. That's literally like, you're right. Like, I don't know how far they're going to try and push it, but like, what about like banning, it's hilarious that like on the mainstream radio, they push out. Yeah, sure. It's censored. Sure. But we know what the fuck they're talking about. You know what I mean? But it's like, so you mean to tell me you could just like let loose on Netflix? I don't know if you guys have been on Netflix at all. I don't actually have Netflix, but my lady does. And I can't tell you how many sex islands and, fuck utopia shows are on Netflix right there. Like countless. So it's like, it's okay. OnlyFans, Pornhub, all that shit, perfectly fine. It's for the kids. So I just think that's kind of funny. It's just something to think about. Anyways, Dave, what's your thoughts on that? Like banning TikTok or like, kind of all this kind of censorship style stuff?
I have never been on TikTok. My Facebook, yeah. YouTube, of course. Love your channel.
I appreciate
I'm not
that.
really afraid of China, but as you see, my name's Silverstack, and I just recently been doing that because I don't trust our government.
What, stacking precious metals?
Yeah, since early December.
I own a little bit of gold. but I'm gonna buy some more.
I just recently, 8 days ago, made my first purchase on gold.
Congrats.
And I really just don't trust the guy. I just trying to be prepared for the worst in case some weird shit happens.
Yeah, and I heard like somebody made a really valid point. That's why I don't own a tremendous amount of gold, but I plan on putting more in. The more money I'm making,
That's
kind
my
of
plan too.
like I want to do like every month or two, kind of like go, okay, I'm gonna put it away X amount depending on what I make in the month. But really with the gold, the idea behind it is like gold just keets up with the price of whatever the dollar's worth. So for instance, if shit went hyperinflation bananas, Gwen Stefani, BANANAS, and it just went skyrocket, the dollar, now you need $10 for $1. Gold generally follows with that. So basically you're kind of, it's not like a get rich quick scheme. It's more like you're having that just in case shit goes bananas, that money will go bananas with it. It's not like you're necessarily making a bunch of money. You're just keeping up with, you have an option to keep up with the inflation. To my knowledge, that's kind of my understanding.
Silver is actually the same way. It keeps up with inflation.
Yep.
And silver you can buy really cheap. And I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and they think that silver is going to start catching up to gold. Oh, the gold to silver ratio as of right now is like 88-1. 88 ounces of silver to 1 ounce of gold. They're thinking it could be like 40-60 in the near future.
Yeah, you think like the ratio is going to be kind of the same. Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause I was going to say, because gold's like worth substantially more per ounce.
But
yeah. We're getting all nerdy here. This guy Santis is like, I'm buying bananas. I'm preparing. That's awesome.
But with the TikTok, I've never been on it. If they ban it, it's not going to affect me. I would feel bad for the younger crowd because everybody I work with that are in their 20s, early 30s, they're on it all the time. China's been spying on us anyways with those balloons.
I mostly consume TikTok just to gather stuff for this.
Mm-hmm.
Like YouTube's my main source. I like long form content. Or I'll watch sometimes I'll watch like a clips channel where like no one's talking and they just have clips in there. And then like if I see a good clip, I'll like go to that person's TikTok and snag it. But I mostly watch long form shit. That's just kind of how I work, like how I operate. Like I'll be doing stuff around the house, just have something on, or it's. But I do consume a little bit of TikTok and some Instagram. More, just got to stay hip. Stay up to date with the kids.
Maybe someday.
yeah. This person said it's insurance, like the gold. Exactly. It's. I see a lot of people confused. Gold is great if you have a lot of money. You don't need. Yeah, I mean. I'm just saying, if you have 10 grand worth of gold and all of a sudden you need 100 grand to equal 10 grand, well, at least you have that $10,000 worth of gold. So I don't think that means being rich. I could be wrong. I know I say a man with no bills is a rich man. I understand the definition of rich means a lot of money. I get that. It's just an expression. But to paint you a picture, so for instance, let's say I have 50 grand, but I have 10 grand of it in gold. Cool. If the shit hits the fan and my 50 grand turns into nothing and it's worth, now that 50 grand's worth 5 grand, well, at least I had that bit of gold that can like keep up. So that's kind of like, I agree with the insurance aspect. I mean, in a perfect world, in an ideal, apparently it's the oldest type of money. So I could be wrong.
I've learned a lot about like gold and silver watching YouTube through the Rich Dad, Poor Dad and Lynette Zhang. If you're really interested, I would recommend watching some of their YouTube videos.
I read the Rich Dad Poor Dad book when I was like 25, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll get it into real estate. It was actually just a good book. It was just like I don't think it was more just kind of like a book for people to just get a kind of a grasp on, like create. Like there's a part in that book. Like, I'm not saying like I don't like follow these people like, oh, you're my savior. Like I'm gonna, but there's some stuff to be learned. Like he made a point on like creating your own money. So learning how to create your own money.
Yeah.
But when he was a kid, he took that to heart. So him and his friends actually molded like clay coins, and they were like, we made our own money. I thought that was kind of funny in the book, but really later down the road, he was like, oh, I understand now. Like, how can I just make money on my own and turn this business or whatever into a cash cow? But anyways, I'm going to wind shit down here. I really appreciate you guys coming on. John B, I appreciate you being here, brother. I am going to kick you out now. Mark, much love, brother. You're gone. I'm just kidding. Not being mean. Dave, appreciate you calling in. Wish we could talk longer. No problem, man. Hell of a talk, guys. I went a lot longer than I wanted to, but actually I had a great time. I needed this. You know, sometimes we don't feel like going to work, and then we get there and it's like, oh, this is fine. Yeah, I appreciate all you guys being here. 50K, hell of a talk. Good time. GH goes, Jack, you are right. And listen to this. TikTok's original name was Kick the Clock, but an American marketer told them to change it to TikTok. Yeah, spend all your time on there. TikTok. Next thing you know, it's been 7 hours. Hell of a talk, guys. I appreciate everybody. Solid shit. I mean, God, just fucking bananas, you know, just getting crazy. I'm going to get fucking loose. I'm getting wild. All right, I'm clocking out. Good stuff. Good stuff.